I remember Prime Minister Netanyahu saying once that there are three standards applied to this world: the standard that's applied to third world countries, the standard that's applied to Western countries, and the standard that's applied to the State of Israel. Would you agree with that statement?
I certainly agree with it. I would claim part ownership of that phrase. Not only double standards, but unique standards that are always applied to Israel. There are more mechanistic reasons beyond what Gil says, that the way the political process works. I study politics, and that doesn't mean I ignore history, but I look for political factors that are in there. And beyond all the points that you made, the fact is that the human rights network has been essentially acquired, wholly owned now by the Arab and Islamic bloc in the United Nations. They dominate the agenda, they control the votes, the regions within the United Nations Human Rights, used to be Commission Council. They hold events, they lead this process of this obsession against Israel. And it feeds into all the other factors. So that if you're a prominent human rights organization that wants to be seen as being important, and in order to raise money to your donors, and you want to appear in Geneva at the sessions of the United Nations Human Rights Council, and the chair is a Gaddafi appointee from Libya one week, and an Algerian or a Saudi, or now, though not so much the Libyans, but last week I think it was the Syrians who gave a speech about Israeli war crimes. The absurdity, I was there, and you can see this absurdity, and you pull out your hair or whatever else you've got. And they've taken over, and they know what they're doing. And by the way, with allies, it's all dictatorships. It's 24-hour dictatorships, unlike 24-hour news, that China and Russia and Cuba are part of that network. And they dominate the agenda. And so therefore, you want to play ball with them as a human rights group, you got to be up there. Even you may already have the inclination to be part of that. But the process then leads you in to do that. And it's a lot of money involved. It's a huge industry. It's at least $1 billion industry, of which at least 20% is focused on Israel. We did an examination of all European funding in the realm of human rights. We had the last data that they gave us was up to 2010. They're a little bit behind, these Europeans. But we looked from 2007 to 2010, and we divided it up by country. And Israel was by far the largest single recipient in the world and got 50% of European human rights money in the Middle East. So you have this obsession. And why? Well, it's like journalists going to Israel. Israel's an easy place to operate in, so every human rights group is there. You don't get the same types of assaults. You couldn't operate in most of the other countries. So everything goes into Israel. And you have enough Israelis, and I think we need to talk a little bit about also the role of the Jewish community in this, and enough Israelis who, for different reasons, I claim that these are fringe Israelis who some of have a personal commitment, some of whom are exploited, but they also feed into this process and say, wait, this is not anti-Semitism, because I'm Jewish Voices for Peace, because I'm Jewish, and I know that Israel is committing war crimes and illegally occupying Palestinian land, and Israel is a uniquely apartheid state because it's only for Jews and not for anybody else. So these kinds of distortions add and build up, and there's so much money that's involved in this that it continues to feed itself.